Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Srinivasan, .NET developer. We are looking into entity framework tutorials. In the last video, we have seen how to use where clause in link to SQL query statements. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to fetch a single record from the table. So I'm going to use this table. So we have 4 students in the student table. So let's see how to write the query statement to fetch a single record from the student table. Student context dot students dot. So in order to fetch a single row from the table, so we must use single or default method. So we have the two methods here, single or default. So I will explain this method. So at first, very first, I'm going to use this method to fetch a single record from the table. So we must predicate by using lambda expression. So I'm going to use student ID column, student ID equal to 1. In the condition, I just gave student ID equal to 1. So in the result, we should get this row actually, right? So let's see what we are getting from this statement, entity framework statement. Yeah, we just fetched the same row what I said before, right? So we have a exact result. And what happens when we give when we give the value which is not exist in the table? So we have only 1 2 3 4 IDs. So we don't have a ID. We don't have any student which who has student ID 7. So let's see now what we will get from the statement. This time we are getting error because this sequence contains no elements, because this ID is not exist in the table. No student has the student ID 7. Okay, so at the time we can use to single or default method. Okay, let's see what we will get from the statement. Yeah, this time we can execute the query statement without any error, and we are getting the null value because the ID is not exist. The value of the student ID is not exist in the table. That's why we are getting null. What single or default method will do in that statement is it will check whether the value of the column is exist in the table or not. If exist, it will return the row, return the row. Otherwise, we will get the null value, right? So this time I'm going to use student name column. I'm going to give really John. So our concept is we are just fetching a single row from the table, but we have two rows here with we have two John here. So let's see what we will get from the statement now, even if we use single or default method. We are getting error, right, because sequence contains more than one element, right? So we can use single or default method when the value of the column is not exist in more than one columns. Okay, so we can fetch this. We can fetch Peter because there is no another Peter available in the table. So this time we are getting the result. We got the result here without any error. So this is how you can fetch a single record from the table by using a single or default method, right? So we have a one more method to fetch a single record, that is find method. You can use this method only when the table has a primary key column. So in my case, we have a student table, and student ID column is a primary key column. So I can give the value of the primary key column directly in the find method, right? So we don't need to write up lambda expression condition and all. Okay, so we can give the value directly, value of the primary key column, right? So you can use this method only when the table has a primary key column, and we must pass the value of the primary key column only. So let's see. So we are getting the same result. John, student ID 1, John. And you can pass more than one value like this, more than one value, um, by creating a array of object, and you can pass more than one value here only when you create a composite key on any table, right? If you create any table with composite key, so you when at that in that situation, so in that case, so you can give more than one value in the find method like this, right? So we have a only one column, we have created a primary key on only one column, that's why I gave a single value like this. Okay, so if I give the value which is not exist in the student ID column, so we are getting null because the value is not exist in the student ID column, primary key column, that is student ID column in my case, right? So this is how we can fetch a single record from the table, and and this is the link extension method. So we don't need to write link to SQL query statement for this uh, equivalent link to SQL statement for the to fetch the single record from the table. Okay, I hope you can understand how to fetch a single record from the table by using single or default or find method, right? So if you like this video, please share and subscribe my channel and like my video. In the next video, I'll come up with a different topic of entity framework tutorial. Bye. Thank you.